Jorge, you're fucking garbage, bro. If you can't use a gun without mounting, you should probably go back to multiplayer.
Puro pinche mexa.
Yeah, you're fucking ghosted, sitting in a corner mounted with a bar. I'll fucking shit all over you any day of the week. Put money on the line.
You're a fucking loser, bitch. Get the fuck
Bro,
over here.
you have a 2% win percentage. Your KD is trash. Congrats on your one win.
Where was he? Was he just crouched in the corner? Alright, right off the bat, spectating my dude Scott 34. In this video, we're going to try our best not to poke too much fun. I really want to give some great tips and tricks in this video. I feel like I've been more or less breaking away from tips and tricks here recently, so I really want to go back to giving a few. Caldera's Caldera, man. Like, I felt like in Verdansk, dude, and I'm not going to go down memory lane too much, but I felt like in Verdansk, there were like really valid tips and tricks for everything, different rotations and strategy and reading the map, and then blah, 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 blah. This goes on. This map here, though, it's just, you're highly third-partied. Everything's like shoulda, woulda, coulda. You never know where an enemy's going to catch you up at. You never know where an enemy's going to be rotating at. You never know where they're going to be gatekeeping you at. With all these new perks, with all these new ways to hide and stay out of sight, even with them removing trees and bushes, it still is really difficult for a lot of players. One thing I will say, if you are going on the win factor, Recon's your best friend. Recon strat all day long. Is it boring? It's definitely more boring than fighting, for sure. But it's a great strategy to get more wins consistently. I still want you guys who are bad out there with if you're bad off with your aiming and your tracking, things like that, I still want you to be hot dropping. I still want you to be practicing against bots and a private match or stuff like that in Modern Warfare. But I definitely recommend, if you want to win more, to do recons. Also, this shit here, stop overstaying your welcome, man. Literally, you gotta make rotation patterns when looting. It's weird saying patterns and looting, but I don't really know exactly where the fuck we're going. We've got a buy station over here. He seems like he wants to go to this one for some odd reason. In my eyes, we're $800 away from a UAV. Again, dude, we got all these tents. You can probably find a UAV money. You can probably find extra money for another loadie. Sky's probably the limit. But he's honestly looking like he got scared. Someone was over here, so we're coming to this one instead. And again, look at the overuse of the heartbeat sensor. I harp on it all the time, but dude, it's getting tiring having to say it. I'm really wanting people to see these videos more or less so they can stop doing this stupid shit. As much as he's heartbeating, if someone was to peek a bush with him having that heartbeat out, he would fucking die. And again, the biggest problem with the heartbeat sensor is your eyes are always trained to look for those dots. So right now he's looking at the monitor. He's not looking and scanning the actual terrain in front of him, where he could probably see movement relatively well. Again, I'm not sure why we came here if we didn't come here for this buy. He's trying to crawl into there. Now, this would be a decent spot to gatekeep. You might have one or two people come power plant, but because all the buy stations up here, this actually might be a dead zone. You might not have any activity at all. Got a vehicle to our left. He doesn't even look like he sees it. He has no idea it's even there. He is completely lost in the sauce. Look at this shit. Look. Oh my god. Oh my. Weird. A savage. No, stop it. You see this shit? You see exactly what I'm talking about, dude? You have that heartbeat out. Did it help you? No. What happened? Well, you didn't get to shoot the enemy because you got clapped before you could put the heartbeat away. You can't make this shit up. Put the heartbeat away. everyone watching this video right now, I know you love your heartbeat. I know you're good with your heart. Put it away. I promise you, if you put it away for 2 weeks, you'll never go back. I used to be a heartbeat player. I'll tell you that firsthand. If you put it away for 2 weeks, use snapshots, use stems, whatever the hell you want to use. Put that heartbeat away, bro. You'll start spotting movement in the distance way easier. You'll be training your eyes for that little bit of movement in bushes and shit. And again, you won't get caught out with your hands in your fucking pockets. It's just, you can't do that. That players are still doing this at high levels just blows me away, especially 2.5 years of this game being out. It shocks me. I know a lot of you guys watching. I'll do it. Put it away. You'll surprise yourself, I promise. Just suck it up for 2 weeks. All right, but circle's hard rotating to the north. Looks like it's going to be an arsenal or dig site ending. Pray it's not a village ending. We've got a bounty here with the circle coming in. He's probably going to take the transit, I would imagine. Wouldn't be a bad idea to cluster the tunnel. If we were to cluster the tunnel, dude, he would... Never mind, he's taking the vehicle. JK. And now he's gone. So we can go ahead and break away from this engagement because that motherfucker is going to be long gone. We can start making our way to the balloon and buy station. Again, dudes, try practicing slide canceling. I will say, I switched to controller recently. I'm still learning on it. But slide canceling and movement without paddles, unless you play claw, good fucking luck. Claw will definitely be a savior. So if you guys don't have paddles, try to learn claw. I myself hate claw, always have, but you gotta have some either paddles or claw to have decent movement. Now, there's gonna be a few you crackheads in here like, hey, don't savage. Not an exception to the rule. This shit here is not easy without fucking paddles or claw. But yeah, definitely recommend getting paddles. I'll have to get 4 paddles, just get 2 paddles, get the little back attachment, get an Xbox Elite, whatever the case is.
Need an airstrike on my position now.
And maybe there's a controller crackhead in the comments, bro. Let them know, like, is there a certain button layout people should be using to help with their movement without paddles? I'm sure there is. So if you have any kind of like special tips and tricks for controller, because I'm still on day 7 of controller, let them know in the comment section. I will say though, we know where an enemy's at. I don't see why we're turning our back and running away. I definitely want to engage. You always want to engage when you see an enemy unless he's in a bad spot. This is not a bad spot. This is 100% pushable. You can go in and kill him. I'm not really in a position to gatekeep because he's safe. Thank God you have the heartbeat out. Almost got clapped from it. But I see this a lot. I'll see enemies fighting each other like this. Bolt will end up running away, and this guy will end up coming back to kill us later on in the game. Now he crawled to the left. I try walling him. Sometimes you can get lucky, sometimes you won't. And there's the other person too. You saw him moving around at the bottom of the, I guess behind the bush at the bottom of the building. Getting some nice snipes off though. No crazy snipes or anything like that, but consistent hits, man, from a spectated player, not bad. Yep. He's playing a really nice heady, but we're pretty confident with the sniper. Another hit. Beautiful. But you got to be careful when sniping in this meta. That NZ will fry you. It will fucking fry you. Now, in my opinion, I think the enemy's got a better vantage point. He's got a massive ridge, the rooftop, that he can play and move around. You see him moving around, changing his position, which creates a harder time for Bolt into fighting that enemy. Because he's having a transition, he's having a track. All we had was a little rock. Not to mention, on top of that, we also have to make sure the enemy doesn't jump off and push us. So while watching the top of that building, we've also got to watch the sides, the windows, so many more spots that the enemy could kill us from. Bolt Gang is definitely dipping out of there. This position I'm not mad at. You're out of plates. Definitely got to go to the buy station. But again, I'd go back and try to win that fight, man. You do not want to be a victim to him later on in the game. So like I said before, dude, I wanted him to fight. Now that we're out of plates, I'm not mad he broke away. And it looks like we're trying to take a better vantage point, but I don't think this is going to be a better option. Oh. I don't know how you're getting fucking armor plate breaks, hitting them in the fucking toe, but we can go with that. And the enemy's moving around. I get you don't want him to hear you, but we're in a bad spot. He's on the high ground. We're gonna have to push him. Because if he sees us, oh, he doesn't see us. Wow. Because if this dude spots us, we're gonna get fucking fried. He's going ultra stealth with it. And he's rotating out to the northeast. Nope. Then they kept moving to the 75, and that's where I think he's still going to. It didn't look like he was interested in the buy at all. And again, this is the problem with playing a little too passive on these fights, dude. The enemy had the high ground, so we were already out position. But number two, again, the enemy was moving away because we kept slowing down our movement with crouch walking, with ADSing, and also with the heartbeat. We've now lost the enemy, and he becomes a bigger threat late game. Not to mention, the enemy's observation was pretty good. He was scanning around, so there's a huge potential. He's going to look back to where he came from. We're going to get clapped. Oh, no. Never mind, we got him. Let's hope he hit him with a teabag. Do we not have our loadout yet, Bolt? I'm all good with a little bit of patience and fighting, especially in game, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Bolt got lucky. I think it just Soberish made a bad move rotating backwards and losing the high ground. And again, the fact we were sitting on top of a rock perched up like a gargoyle and he didn't see us with this, I don't know, but so you do not want to play that slow at all. In game is the only exception to the rules, dude. Not to mention, fuck the guy you're about to fight. What about the third party that's probably pushing you? How many times do we get third party in Warzone? At least half our gunfights. At least. So if you want to avoid that, dude, you just gotta push with some animosity, bro. Sound like the shots came from yellow building in Storage Town. We're just gonna fucking dip. Now look, we don't have enough money for UAV, so I like the fact we're going for bounties. Not gonna lie, ADS slide canceling drives me up a wall, but you know what, it works, so get it how you live. I don't know why it drives me so crazy, bro. I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much. But it does work, so whatever. Dig site's gonna have a lot of fucking people. Granted, there's only 10 enemies left, but dig site's always a hot spot. You have the fuckers that always sit in mines. They don't know any spot on the map except for mines. They just sit there the whole game. Their stupid slow asses are gonna slowly start coming up this hill. So I expect us to have about 3 or 4 fights in this area alone. Not to mention the tunnel. Saw movement by the fence to the left-hand side. There's the parachute. That is the bounty going for the balloon. Honestly, I think it's too early to rotate the balloon as far as the enemy is concerned too. It's a split circle with the openness. You have dig site, you have ruins. I don't want to go ahead and pre-rotate ruins in case it dives back and we've got to fight our way back to the balloon. I like the idea of getting ruins if that's where the next circle dictates to, but if I was the enemy, dude, I would have waited for circle to rotate. Look at us following the enemy in the sky out in the open. Out in the open. Wild. Just ran. He hit that. He ran right into it. No shot. A little bit of movement, throwing off our tracking. This is why movement is so important for you guys right here. This is exactly why movement is key. I saw another YouTuber the other day telling people, you know, aiming's the most important thing in the game. And he's not wrong. You got to hit your shots, but I don't believe it's the most important thing in Warzone. I think movement is the most important thing. Any Joe Blow can eventually learn to shoot. Shooting in this game is easier to master than movement. So I think movement is more important just for that in itself. Because Bolt was hitting his shots. Bolt can snipe. He's a decent sniper. Not the greatest. No trick shots, no craziness. But he can snipe. And we saw his SMG gameplay too. So he's got the potential to aim. But when a little bit of movement comes into play, dude, he lost the gunfight. The enemy's definitely a crackhead too. He jumped right on us, dude. No fucks given. I think people see like movement like Joe Woe and they're like, I can never achieve that. So they just don't even attempt it. And yeah, that movement, I don't want to say it's impossible. It's definitely achievable. It's a very hard task to master. But don't abandon it because it looks too hard. All you got to do is just simply slide to the left, slide to the right, slide to the left, slide to the right. Just like that guy was doing. Nothing crazy, nothing cracked out. Just something simple to the point. Now we got to hurry up and get our shit because this guy might still be fucking close. Again, he's a sweat. That's probably going to be the player that wins this lobby, unless he really makes a mistake. So that's our biggest concern right now. Fuck everybody else. Again, next circle still split, but this is exactly why I said do not go ruins early, like the bounty did. Bounty went ruins, and now he's gonna have to make his way out of here. And dig site is actually the preferred side. Pre-rotating is always good, but if it looks like a 50-50 split, I would wait on the pre-rotation always. Always. In my time of PUBG, H1Z1, Blackout, even this game here, in all my time, I have made the mistake time and time again while I was learning to pre-rotate too early. And I caught myself going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, trying to predict the circle. This doesn't need any tips and tricks. I always tell you guys, stop putting yourself center circle in game. He had a perfect vantage point, dude. There's an enemy here, there's an enemy here. We know there's a guy ruined, so if we just held dig site, that's a huge W. I don't think our perks are worth this risk. We are very, very vulnerable right now. He may pull it off, but we are very, very vulnerable when we should have just held dig site, which is the better spot on the map. And he goes down like, and see, this is what I'm talking about. Risk versus reward. Sometimes your rewards are not worth the risk. That right there was not. You had your guns, you had plates, you were good. You were good. There was no reason to go out there for ghosts, double time, serpentine. All that shit's not that important when you have 4 fucking players on the map left. It's wild to me. We're not in a bad spot right here. Again, I think dig site's still their favored one, because it's a little bit higher than us, but this is a good little spot. Now look, the guys at dig site, assuming there is a player there, which there should be, because again, the best spot on the map right now, he should definitely have looked this way when we were fighting. All that gunfire that was going on between Bolt and this guy, and the guy Bolt killed before this guy killed him, that should have attracted a lot of eyes, a lot of attention, but for some reason, players are just like, I hear gunshots, I'm fucking hiding. And the mistake to that is there's 3 players left. So if one of the guys is at dig site hiding his ass off, and us and the other player happen to push him at the same time, look at the open space we have to cross, right? He's sitting here hiding. We have to cross in the open. Granted, we have a balloon, but let's just pretend we don't. Let's pretend the enemy's over here. We're crossing in the open. We're crossing to the balloon in the open. If he was just looking, he could catch us on the zip line. He could catch the enemy out here. He could potentially have 2 fucking easy kills, but because this is what he does, and get ready, you'll see it. There he is, crouch walking behind a fucking sand pit. Oh, bitch. Yo, Jorge was fucking paying attention. Jorge was paying attention big time. RIP. R.I.P. Alright, we know where the enemy is, but he does. Let's see how they play this. Oh, we see movement behind my webcam. I see movement, y'all don't see shit. We need to get out of here. Now, slow ADS peeking like this is dangerous. It is necessary in some situations. I'm not against it right now because he doesn't know where he's at. So he doesn't just want to ego chow, and I respect it, but it's still a dangerous situation because, again, he'll see your shoulder before you can see him, and he can clap. He can clap you really easy. Hello. He knows he's getting shot from this area here. So instead of playing the edge, I would just start pushing cover and closing the gap, making the fights a little bit more favorable, especially since we have a Blixen out. Not a huge fan of this at all, going on the street between the fences. Again, the fence is protecting us from that area, but if that enemy wraps, we really have very little cover. Also, guys, something you'll see me do is I'll try to bait shots. I'll start shooting. I'll start sliding out in the open, sliding back to cover, just to attract tracers so I can find out where the enemy's at. This slow peeking right here is very, very dangerous. Thankfully, the enemy's playing like a giant bot as well, so he's not peeking at all. But I don't know if Jorge's is winning this one, brother. I don't think he's gonna fucking control this one at all. Especially hiding in a corner. It's like people delay the inevitable. They're gonna have to fight them. I'd rather fight them as soon as possible, and the circle's still big, so I have better rotation options if I get pinched. Like right now, for instance, if I was to get shot at, where could I go? I could get shot this entire building. I could probably fall back to another building. I could probably play the tractor over here. But again, because the circle's getting smaller, this is eventually going to be out of play. All this is going to be out of play, and the different rotation patterns and possibilities are just closing in on ourselves. They're just caving in. And we're not even looking. You're gonna have to fight him. You might as well do it soon. Also, we have the house to our left-hand side. This is where the enemy was. Probably here now. Could be pushing up. Finally looking. There we go. Oh, yep. You spot him, bro. Ooh, you're mounted, my god. I'll be honest. I was fucking dumb. Jorge mounted with a gun that has very little recoil, and he almost died because of it. Thank God that the enemy missed the shots at the end. He had us cracked. He had us dead of riots, and he whiffed the last 3, 4, 5 shots. Otherwise, he would have taken us out. I don't like mounting in close range fights. That was a close range fight. It's just not necessary. Not to mention, we were blinding ourselves. We were trying to predict the enemy was coming through the right hand side, which he did. But what if the enemy would have gone to the left? We wouldn't have been able to see him, and he still could have put some shots on us. Just a very bad situation. But he didn't get in the dub.
Jorge, you're fucking garbage, bro. If you can't use a gun without mounting, you should probably go back to multiplayer.
Puro pinche mexa.
Yeah, you're fucking ghosted, sitting in a corner mounted with a bar. I'll fucking shit all over you any day of the week. Put money on the line.
You're a fucking loser, bitch. Get the fuck
Bro,
out of here.
you have a 2% win percentage. Your KD is trash. Congrats on your 1 win.